real business owners.
You know, that's one thing that we take a lot of pride in, is just having a fun, relaxed, chill environment, but still that can get shit done, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be, cracking the whip and be hard on your people in order to get things done.
It's an extension of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to talk a little bit about your culture, because going from 4 to 25 employees, there's a lot that goes on with that, probably more than what people realize. And then now that's a new job as an entrepreneur, is to manage a lot more people. And that comes with its own set of challenges, right? So how have you been able to, have you changed anything in terms of going from 4 to 25 in how you manage people and how you reward them and the environment and all that? Talk about that for a second real quick.
Before you answer that, can you talk just a little bit closer to the mic?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
He's slowly sliding back, dude. He's staying as far away from me as he possibly can.
Man, dude, there's so much that goes into it, because I feel like even that video that we just
Shot.
posted like a week ago.
Yeah.
It's a 2-month-old video, and I showed it to my team before, and they're like looking at it like, man, so much has changed, and it's only 2 months.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like it's this constantly evolving animal that I'm not like. We're kind of growing with it.
Yeah.
And you guys mentioned on the podcast I was listening to you on the way up here, is that I think you have to grow into the type of person that's going to be able to run the company, right? So when I was, doing $1 million or $2 million, it was like I was still an operator in the company, and that was it. And I didn't have the leadership capability even to grow the team to be able to do, a bigger company. So in order to do that, I had to recognize that, and Arete was a big catalyst for me to realize, oh shit, that's what these guys are doing.
So do you feel like the joining an entrepreneurship group has helped you tremendously in terms of the culture and you being just a better leader?
Huge.
Especially that group.
Yeah.
A lot of that's built
And
around
recognizing the importance of culture.
Yeah,
Because
that's
before
true.
I was like, because I'm very numbers oriented. I'm like, well, I'm just going to pay them this much. They do this work and don't take breaks.
I pay well.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm like,
That's my culture.
Well, because I'm used to being an operator.
Yeah,
I'm used to working in the company, but I wasn't good at putting myself in other people's shoes. So I didn't realize, and this is a very common entrepreneurship thing, is like, why doesn't my team work hard? Why don't my employees care about the company? Like, because it's your fucking company, bro.
Yeah.
You can't expect people to care about your company.
Yeah.
You can't expect them to come in at 9 p.m. and fix something or check the doors are locked. Like, nobody's going to care about your shit as much as you do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But having a strong culture transcends that. Having a strong culture is something bigger than the company itself, and the company becomes a part of that culture. So people want the other people in the company to win. They want the culture to win, and the company grows as a byproduct of that. So I really realized that I wasn't a good enough leader to be able to handle a team that would be big enough to build the company they wanted to build. So through that process, I had to set that big goal, right? I had to get extremely
This is
clear.
where I want to go.
Yeah, I told
now
myself.
who do I have to become in order to get there?
Exactly. So I told myself, and we have a whiteboard on our big ass whiteboard in our conference room that has a whole year written out. I'm like, these are the fucking goals. Like, I told, I think we're 2.5 years into this, but 2.5 years ago, I made a 5-year goal. I want to build a $300 million company in 5 years. So, and work
No big
backwards.
deal.
Right.
It's just easy
just small
peasy.
goals, right?
You know?
But that was that OP, right? Like, this is where I want to go.
Yeah.
So in order to get there, I had to be very clear on it. So what does that look like? What does that company look like? And it was super quick. As soon as I realized, $300 million company, that's not me alone typing on my computer.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking physically impossible. So the only way for me to do that is to build a team and then take our systems and processes, extrapolate them out, build a team, scale, and grow. So I really realized the only way for me to achieve my goal, I need to build a team. I am not a good enough leader to build a team like that. So I needed to build myself in order to become a leader that's able to run, a $3 million company, a $5 million company, a 10, a
Look
20,
at him taking ownership. He needs to
Yeah. I need to
become
become better.
he needs to get better, right? Rather than I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna, egos just go for it, right? You analyzed yourself and says, I need to be better.
Yeah.
And I don't think enough entrepreneurs do that. Man, the culture's lacking. They're just like, I got bad employees. No, it's not. Yeah, no.
And if you
it
do-
trickles down from you.
Even
you
if
know?
you do have bad employees, who fucking hired them?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah,
Your
you're-
fault.
yeah,
Like either way
exactly.
you slice it, it's
Exactly.
your fault,
Yeah.
you know? So I really broke it down to like, okay, 300, we broke it down to 300, 120, and then 8, and then where we're at the time. I think we're like 3 million at the time. And I realized like, okay, if we're gonna do, I think we're on track to do about 7 this year. If we are going to grow to 20 next year, am I a good enough CEO? Am I a good enough leader to lead a team that's big enough that's going to scale and grow that? Can I handle that?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, maybe I still got some things I need to learn to be able to do that. Am I a good enough CEO to do the next year 100 million? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I need to learn through that process of next year to be able to, and I need to be a step ahead of it too. I can't like let the company grow to 100 million and then catch up.
Right. Yeah.
Because where do we
Yeah,
go
yeah.
the next year?
Yeah.
300 million.
Yeah.
So I always need to be progressing and leveling up. And the only way to do that is to take control of it. And be like, okay, be very clear with it and crush your fucking ego and be like, these are the things I suck at.
Yeah.
How do I get better at them? And also recognizing that there are some things that you don't need to get better at.
Yeah.
Like you can be fine sucking at certain things because leadership is a very different styles of leadership, but they all require certain skill sets.
Yeah.
Communication, empathy, clarity, vision, right? So if you're not good at those, you're never going to be a good enough leader to build a big company like
Yeah.
that. So I was like, okay, I'm not good at a lot of these things. Who do I go to? Who is good at these things? Andy and Ed
Right.
created them. You guys are great at some of this stuff. I'm like, okay, I need to learn. I need to learn as much as possible. And dude, it's humbling as fuck to realize like, I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years now,
Yeah.
and I've been a Navy SEAL and all this shit, and be like, to really look at yourself and be like, fuck.
I need help. I need coaching.
I'm
I
not
need
good
mentoring.
enough.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
What are some of the things that you do for your culture? Is just purposely keep it a fun, loose environment? Do you go out to lunches? Do you how do you interact with some of your employees to keep their
Honestly, I think at this point, Disney's better at it than I am.
Yeah.
And we have a specific person on our team, Luke.
So Disney, his wife, is responsible for all his success.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney,
all your
Disney
fault.
did. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But we have a specific person on our team that is a heart officer. So we kind of took that from Gary Vee.
Oh.
And he's really taken on that role extremely well. He researched Gary Vee's heart officer. He's creating his own role. And we have that
that's cool.
specific role because, excuse me, and it's one of the most important in the company
Yeah.
because as we scale, we can't keep the communication, we can't keep tabs on
Everything.
what people want, like where they're at mentally,
Yeah.
like what their goals and dreams are. We can't do that at scale because we're evolving. I'm doing other projects, and
Yeah.
Disney is has a lot on her plate. So what we did is we installed Luke as a chief heart officer, and his role is to go and have these conversations with our team and be like, hey, honestly,
Just make sure they're good.
sometimes it's literally just like, hey, how you doing today?
yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on in your life, and how can we? And we literally just
It sounds
go
so
have
silly,
lunch.
but it means a lot.
Yeah,
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like people want to be seen and people want to be heard. When's the last time somebody went up to you and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Like genuinely, right? Instead
Yeah.
of just like, "How's it going, bro?" Or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like, and so I think people discount what you just said because it just sounds kind of fluffy
sounds
and
wishy-washy.
this and
Right.
that or whatever, but it's very meaningful to human beings to have somebody sit down and actually look them in the eye and the other person feel that person actually cares. Is there anything that we can do? How can I help?
Communication is one of the most important
Yeah.
things
it is.
in life, but especially in business. So as we elevated our positions, we didn't want to lose that connection with our
Yeah.
team. And what that does is, it sounds wishy-washy and it costs money, but it actually saves us a ton of money because
Yeah.
it makes sure that all our team is heard, is validated. We can address issues when they're like, the start, like 1 or 2/10 of that,
Yeah.
rather than just nobody knows about it until
Except
the person's
explodes.
they explode, then
Walk
they leave,
away
and they're
or-
like, oh
yeah.
my God, and now it leaves a big gap, and now we
Yeah.
gotta hire somebody, now we lose money because we don't have that skill set there.
Or it
So-
puts more pressure on other people, and then
Dude,
they're
exactly.
unhappy.
So
All that.
I think it's one of the most important positions that we have because it maintains that strong communication conduit as we
love
scale
that.
and grow.
He's
You know what else it
investing into
probably
culture.
does? It
Investing.
probably is also like huge as far as eliminating like gossip and stuff around the
Yeah.
office, because that can be a culture killer.
Exactly.
You know?
And what we
And-
found, and it's so true, is that in the absence of information, people always insert the worst case scenario.
yeah.
So, but one of the things we've had to navigate is we don't want, and we give him full autonomy to not tell us shit.
Yeah.
So that way, if he knows that he's getting information from people that they don't want us to know, we let him know and the team know that whatever
Doctor,
conversations,
patient,
whatever
confidentiality.
conversations they have,
Yeah.
he only tells us the stuff that the person has authorized us to tell us.
Yeah. That's cool.
And he's very intuitive. And
He's
very
like the
in tune.
internal counselor almost to
Almost.
a certain extent.
Yeah,
Because
we actually modeled it after Wendy Rhodes from Billions.
I haven't seen it.
That's awesome.
Oh,
I
dude,
haven't
it's good.
seen it.
Oh, you're gonna love the
Yeah,
show.
I haven't
Oh
seen
yeah,
it.
dude. I actually haven't seen the latest season, but it's a
It's a
great
good show.
Dude, it's really good. Yeah, Wendy Rhodes is a badass. My wife's looking at her like, dude, Wendy Rhodes is such a killer.
I know,
Like,
dude.
yeah.
How she balances that weird relationship between the investigator or the attorney versus the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the way she's able
She's
to
like
communicate.
caught in the middle of this
Dude,
horrible
yeah.
feud.
So we had to kind of create this role because
Yeah.
it's not a normal role for most companies.
Yeah.
But because our team is so valuable and so important to us, and the communication with our team is such a key part of that.
Yeah.
As we scale, we didn't want to lose that connectivity.
Yeah.
So he's a huge part of having
Yeah.
us be able to grow.
I can imagine
while
not
maintaining
anybody,
that.
just anybody can do that, dude.
Well,
That's-
I just want to highlight that he's investing. It costs him money to make sure his culture is where it needs to be in order to grow the company that he wants to grow. You know, and that's our break room costs us $1,200 a month to keep that thing fully stocked and operated with snacks, food, sodas, coffee. You know, basically whatever anybody needs. We have a couple country club memberships where our employees can go down and go swimming at the pool, go set up a tea time, go eat at the restaurant,
Dude,
and they
that's
just
awesome.
use our company number, right? And all of these things cost money, right? Like if you're looking at trying to have your company have a culture, don't just try to, pinch pennies and do rah-rahs and only just that and think that that's going to be good enough. When I talk to people and they're like, "Oh, culture, how do I get my employees to do more?" The first question always is, well, what are you doing for them to go above and beyond for them? Because that's what you're expecting out of them. Are you doing what you expect them to do?
Yeah.
And
you have to align those.
they
visions.
just think giving them a check is good enough.
No.
That you gave them a check to show up and do their job. You didn't give them a check to help you with the company culture.
And if they're good
You
people,
know?
they can get a check anywhere.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. So it has to be a two-way street. You have to go above and beyond for them. And then when you say, "Hey, can anybody do this or that?" Then there's a lot of hands that go in the air that says, "Yeah, I'll do it." And then more people are willing to go above and beyond for the company they work for because they love the company that they work for based upon one thing:
Exactly.
the culture of the business.
And a lot of people don't look at it. They never look past that first layer of numbers, right? The first, it's going to cost me this much. Like, yes, it does. But have you looked at the other layers beneath that? Like, how
It's a
much
huge
money
ROI on
how
that,
much
though.
money it saves you,
Yeah.
how much
Right.
money it insulates you from. And so when you look at the second layer and third layer of numbers on what that investment really
Long
is,
term.
it's a huge return.
Yes.
And some of them are
Yeah.
invisible, man. Like, if you do have a great culture and people are going above and beyond for your customers, you don't really see
It's hard to
that.
measure some of
It's
it,
hard to
but it's
measure.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But when that customer keeps coming back because of the way they were treated,
Yeah.
because of the culture you invested into, it's like you can't really calculate it, but
Yeah.
it's so huge.
But without a doubt, when we started investing into culture and, we did workout Wednesdays for a minute down here at the college. If they showed up 4 times in a row, Wednesday at 6:30 in the morning, we would put a workout together. If they did it 4 times in a row, they'd get a bonus on their check.
Cool.
I want people hanging out, sweating together, laughing together, having fun together, eating together, golfing together, a big break room fully stocked where they come together,
Yeah.
So it's all about togetherness, right? Because the more that you can get them together and have different experiences together. I mean, the Brian Head trip when we took them up to the ski resort in the summertime.
Right in the
you
middle
know,
of COVID, dude.
right.
I was just like, we need to do something.
It was in July,
Some
so
people
we
didn't go
got
because
like
they're
20
scared, but-
hotel rooms, and the card was at the front desk where they could rent mountain bikes.
Yeah.
They could go play frisbee golf down the mountain,
awesome.
just whatever, right? Whatever they wanted, we were able to provide plenty of alcohol and a little bit of food.
But most importantly, it was like we just got through a grueling tax season.
Yeah.
Extensions deadlines got
Yeah.
extended, and tax filing deadlines got extended, and so
And
what usually is like
COVID,
a 3-4 month grind turned into an 8-month
yeah,
grind, you
yeah.
know. And so we were like, we got to treat these guys, man, and like just giving them some recognition, little bonuses. We wrote out, highlighted something on every single person that came, and that just means a lot to people,
Yeah,
man.
it
You
was a
just
good trip.
recognize them,
Yeah,
praise
it was
them a little
fun.
bit. It was a tough
Took our-
season.